The Hobo's Lullaby. This was Woodrow Wilson Guthrie's favorite song. You might know Woodrow Wilson Guthrie better as Woody Guthrie. And Woody was a true-to-life hobo and a folk singer. And during the Great Depression, his way of getting around was by hopping freight trains or sticking his thumb out on the highway. That was his way of getting around. And he made his living any way he could, but mostly by singing. Singing on the street corners, singing in the churches, singing in the taverns, down by the hobo camps, anywhere there was people. Woody would pull out his guitar and start singing. And he would put his hat out or his guitar case out and people would drop in a nickel or a dime. You know, times were lean back then, the Great Depression. Folks didn't have a whole lot of money. But they would put in, you know, if they had it, they would drop in a little bit. Now, Woody also recorded a lot of songs in the studio and also on the radio stations. Back then, a lot of musicians made their living by going on the radio and promoting their music that way, kind of like how we do on YouTube here. And you really had to play back then. There was no Pro Tools, and so they'd go on there, you know, without a net, and that was how it was in the studio as well. You know, you might have a few takes in the studio, but on the radio, live, you had to pull it off. Anyway, this is a lullaby, so that's how I'm going to play it. 2-finger thumb lead. I'm going to play it like I'm trying to put you to sleep. It's late at night. You're on a boxcar. You got a nice warm place to sleep for the night. The stars are out. Big old full moon out there. And you're just listening to those steel rails hum. And hope you like it. Okay, here we go. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. Now don't you worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow come and go. Tonight you're in a nice warm boxcar, safe from all that wind and snow. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns just slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. I know your clothes are torn and ragged, and your hair is turning gray. But lift your eyes and smile at trouble. You'll find happiness someday. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns just slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. I know that life is full of trouble, and times are hard everywhere. But when you die and go to heaven, there'll be no more troubles there. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rails humming? That's a hobo hobo's lullaby. That's the hobo's lullaby. Good night. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Hope I didn't put you to sleep. I almost fell asleep there while I was singing it. Such a relaxing song.